When the DJI Osmo Pocket first came out, I literally took it on every holiday, I took it on every trip I went on, and I filmed a lot of content with it. It really sort of reignited my love for filmmaking, and you only have to go back to the beginning of this channel to see how much content that I did end up making with it. So when the DJI Pocket 2 was announced, I was really excited to see if they'd fixed some of the problems that I had with the Osmo Pocket, and whether it is worth upgrading to the new one. But when I saw the specs, I was a little bit underwhelmed. I wasn't really sure whether it is worth upgrading, and the quality comparisons between the Osmo Pocket and the Pocket 2, there didn't seem that much difference in quality, so I wasn't sure whether it is worth upgrading. So the aim of this video is going to be to tell you guys if it's worth upgrading from the DJI Osmo Pocket, and if the Pocket 2 is worth buying if you don't already have one. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Chris Spice. I'm a videographer who aims to create more with less. So if you like that sort of stuff, hit the subscribe button down below. And if you enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up button.
The Osmo Pocket was a great design because it was actually pocketable and held a lot of power for its size. The only thing I felt we were missing was a headphone jack and a tripod screw on the bottom, and it was quite frustrating to have to use accessories to fix these issues. On the Pocket 2, well, one of these issues has been fixed as this bottom part now snaps off and you can put another part on which has a tripod screw. Bit of a weird one. I would have preferred it if it just came with the tripod screw bit and you could take that off to put the do-it-all handle on, because now I've got this random bit of plastic which I'll probably never use. The other thing I would have liked to have seen on the original Pocket is an analog stick to control the gimbal. Well, we got that, again in a roundabout way. The analog stick attachment is actually a welcome addition and stays on my Pocket 2 90% of the time, but the stick is either off or on, meaning you can't fine-tune the movement depending on how far you push in each direction. This means that when controlling the gimbal or the zoom with the analog stick, you're stuck to one speed. Just a small thing, but the Pocket 2, the strap is actually on the camera, which might sound like an obvious thing, but on the original Pocket it was on the case. This, in my opinion, makes it a lot more comfortable to hold. Talking about that case, it's changed a bit. We can now put our accessories inside the case. There's a spot for the phone mounts and a spot for the wide angle lens, but the case does feel a little bit weird to use. On the old Pocket, the case just clipped open and you could slide it out, but with the new Pocket, it sort of feels like you're trying to find a position to put your thumb to force it out of the case. You get used to it, but I think it's an odd choice. If you're carrying the Pocket 2 with the analog stick attachment, there's nowhere to put that in the case, so if you want to change the attachments, you're probably going to lose it. A lot of people also felt like the lens on the original Osmo Pocket wasn't quite wide enough. It was about 28mm, which for a camera targeted at vloggers and people filming themselves, it was a little tight. It's now about 20mm, which is, in my opinion, the perfect middle ground between vlogging focal length and B-roll. You can also zoom, and it's more like a digital zoom, but I was very surprised at the quality. More on that in the full review of this camera. In addition to that, we have a bigger sensor in the camera, which should make all the difference in low light, but it is 64 megapixels, and generally as we get more megapixels in video, there tends to be a little more noise. We'll get to this later though. Overall then, in terms of design, it's small changes, but I do think it makes all the difference. In terms of actual image, there are a few changes which make the Pocket 2 a better option. I found that the dynamic range seems a lot better on Pocket 2, which is one of the weaknesses of the Osmo Pocket. It just seems to blow out the sky a little bit less, and the blue is a bit more pronounced, while still retaining detail in the darker areas. In some shots it was a bit noisier than the Osmo Pocket in the shadows, and that could be a side effect of the processing done to increase that dynamic range. Focusing seemed decent in my testing. It's still a little bit bouncy at times, but after seeing the world of difference that the firmware made on the original Pocket, I think we'll have really good AF in a couple of firmware updates. One new feature on the Pocket 2 is the zoom feature, which I originally went to turn off straight away, but after using it, I'm genuinely quite happy with the quality at 2x zoom in 4K. It's still really detailed and it loses that artificial sharpness that these cameras suffer with, so I quite like the look. It also makes the Pocket 2 a bit more versatile for everyday shooting, so thumbs up for the zoom. To be honest, for the size, there wasn't much wrong with the original Pocket image quality, and sometimes it even tops the Pocket 2 for sharpness, but I like the wider angle lens and better dynamic range of the Pocket 2. It is important to set our expectations with these cameras, and they both perform well given their size. Okay, so this is a vlogging and audio test on the DJI Osmo Pocket and the DJI Pocket 2 on my right here. Obviously the Pocket 2 has a slightly wider lens, so it's a bit easier to hold, but I'm holding them at the same distance so you can see the difference on what it looks like while vlogging. Everything's on auto settings. That's the audio is on auto settings, and exposure's on auto settings as well, and we're shooting at 4K at 50 frames per second. In theory, the audio on the Pocket 2 should sound better because there's more microphones, but I haven't actually tested it yet, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. Yeah, so this is a audio test of the DJI Osmo Pocket, and this is an audio test of the DJI Pocket 2. Which one sounds better? Let's find out. In terms of features, there's not a whole lot of difference between these two cameras. We've got that new 64 megapixel sensor, so we can now take 64 megapixel photos, although the default setting is 12 megapixel, so you do have to go in and change this. And instead of fine and super fine mode on the Osmo Pocket, we've now got battery saver and high quality video. And the only real difference here is that high quality mode is now available in 4K at 30 frames per second on the Pocket 2, whereas the superfine mode on the original Osmo Pocket is only available in 4K up to 25 frames. Quick tip, if you're shooting the whole day, I'd recommend using the high quality mode for anything that's going to be viewed on a big screen or anything in low light, as there's actually a lot less noise in low light and slightly more detail for those big screen viewings. But the image quality and battery saver mode should be more than good enough for social media. We've also got HDR video coming soon on the Pocket 2, but I wouldn't let this influence your decision just yet. So there's obviously the creator combo for the big bucks that you can buy that include the do-it-all handle. This has the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in and will actually allow you to connect up the wireless microphone, which genuinely seems of really good quality from DJI based on reviews I've seen. It also allows you to connect your phone to the camera wirelessly instead of using the wibbly wobbly attachments. I really wanted to see this put inside the original Pocket 2 without any attachments, but maybe they just can't fit any more tech in there, or maybe they just wanted to sell the combo. A wide angle lens is included in the combo, which I believe changes the focal length to about 15mm, and this basically solves the needs of a lot of people who are asking for a super wide lens for vlogging. I think the combination of the new 20mm focal length, the wide angle lens in the creator combo, and the new zoom features make this a really versatile camera. Sure, there were definitely some good third-party lenses for the original Pocket, but they were never perfect. So, should you buy the DJI Pocket 2? Well, in my opinion, if you haven't got either of these, the price difference isn't that much between the two cameras, so why not go for the Pocket 2? I think it's going to be supported for a lot longer in terms of firmware and accessories, and it's actually a really good camera. The quality is just as good, the dynamic range is better, and the colours are okay most of the time, and obviously you get that wider lens if you're into filming yourself. So it really is an investment. I think the new one is probably better value for money if you don't have either of them. But if you've already got the Osmo Pocket, it's a bit different, and I think it varies depending on your situation. If you've got the Osmo Pocket and you're happy with it, and you don't think you need anything more, then why invest in the new one? But if some of the upgrades are important to you, like the better dynamic range, the wider lens, the bigger sensor, then this actually could be a good investment. So if it's a tool that you use a lot and it inspires you to create and you just go out and create with it all the time, I definitely recommend upgrading to the Pocket 2. I'm going to be upgrading to the Pocket 2 because that's my situation. I really enjoyed the Osmo Pocket. I enjoyed how it made me feel when I was filming with it, and how I just took it everywhere and filmed a lot more content with it than I would taking my big cameras, for example, because it involved lugging around a bag. I love that the lens is a little bit wider because I think it's better for sort of all-round use, B-roll, filming yourself, anything like that. I love that they've improved the dynamic range, although the colours do need to be improved a little bit within that. And I do like the bigger sensor just because it makes it a little bit better in low light, and in high quality mode there's not actually that much noise. But I think if you want to make the smart decision, then maybe wait a couple of months down the line for those long-term reviews to see the problems and the benefits of each feature, and then a couple of firmware updates as well. Obviously they're going to release the HDR, which is exciting if you're into that, but I'm going to be keeping this and I'm going to be using this from now on. I'm also going to be one of those people releasing the reviews, so if you want to see that, then do hit that subscribe button. If you've got any questions about the Osmo Pocket 2, more than happy to answer them, so leave a comment down below. And if this video helps at all, then obviously give me a thumbs up, it helps a lot. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.